How many opportunities have you let slip away just because you doubted yourself? Kyle was a young fisherman who knew the secrets of the sea well. Since childhood, he had learned to navigate unpredictable waters, guided by the stars and the compass of his grandfather. But that morning, when he set sail toward a mysterious island said to offer peace and fulfillment, something felt different. The sky was clear as he began his journey, but soon a dense fog appeared on the horizon. It was no ordinary fog. It whispered directly into his ears. "What if you're heading the wrong way?" murmured the fog. "You'll never make it." Cale felt a tightness in his chest. He tried to ignore the voices, but they were relentless, echoing doubts he didn't even know he had. The fog didn't just hide the path. It changed the sea itself. As Cale hesitated, the once calm waters began to churn. Waves rose, crashing harder against his boat. "You've failed before," laughed the waves. "Why try again?" Every word from the sea chipped away at his confidence. Regret tightened around his heart, dragging up old memories, missed chances, wrong turns, times he'd given up too soon. His once reliable knowledge of navigation now seemed useless. He looked at his compass. The needle spun wildly, mirroring his own confusion. Cale felt like he was drowning, not just in the sea, but in his own emotions. "Maybe I should turn back," he thought, desperate. "Go back to where it's safe, where things make sense." But then, something changed. A soft wind began to blow. Faint at first, barely noticeable. Cale frowned, annoyed. Another distraction, he thought, but the wind persisted. It carried a strange calmness with it, a quiet strength. He looked up. The fog was starting to shift, just slightly. Tiny glimpses of stars peeked through above, those same stars that had always guided him. A lump rose in his throat, a mixture of fear and hope. Can I still trust them? He wondered. The wind kept blowing, gently, patiently, as if whispering not words, but reminders. Cale realized something. The wind wasn't there to give him answers. It was there to remind him of one truth. He could still row. Even without a clear path ahead, he could still move forward. With trembling hands, he picked up the oars. At first, it was hard. The sea still roared. The waves still hissed their insults. "You won't make it." But Cale kept rowing, slowly, awkwardly, driven by a courage he hadn't known he possessed. And something remarkable began to happen. The sea, sensing his resolve, started to calm. The angry waves softened into gentle swells. The fog, once thick and suffocating, began to lift. Above him, the stars shone brighter. Kyle felt a lightness he hadn't known in years. He realized regret only had power when it held him still. Moving forward, even into the unknown, was what brought clarity. Hours later, Cale finally reached the island. It wasn't exactly what he had imagined. There were no magical treasures, no promises fulfilled, but it was beautiful, quiet, alive with peace. And as Cale stepped onto the shore, he understood. The real treasure was the journey itself, the courage to face the fog of doubt, the strength to row through the sea of regret, the quiet persistence of the wind that reminded him who he was. Years later, Cale became a mentor to other sailors. He would often say, "The fog of doubt and the sea of regret may seem impossible to cross, but the wind of courage is always there, waiting to guide you. Don't wait for perfect clarity to act. Move forward, and the way will appear." As he told his story, Cale would see in others the same fear and longing he once carried. But he also saw something else, a spark. And he knew the fog and the waves were universal. But so was the wind. And so, he kept sharing his story. helping others find their own path through the fog, beyond the waves, and toward the island of peace they each carried within. What if I'm heading in the wrong direction? That question didn't haunt only Kale. It echoes in all of us. At some point in life, we all face the fog of doubt. That heavy silence where every choice feels too risky or too pointless. But is doubt a guardian of truth? Or just a disguised voice of fear, trying to keep us exactly where we are? Kale's story shows us something powerful. Clarity doesn't always come before action. Sometimes you have to row, even when you can't see the shore. The fog that paralyzes you is also the test of your courage. The raging sea isn't just an obstacle. It reflects everything still unresolved within you. And regret. Regret only exists when you give up. But when Kale decides to keep going, no guarantees, still afraid. Something shifts, because the wind of courage never arrives loudly. It whispers, and only those who move can hear it. How many times have you stayed stuck, waiting for absolute certainty? How many moments have slipped away because you were waiting for the right time? What if clarity only comes after the first row? What if your biggest mistake is not trying? I know, moving through uncertainty is terrifying, but that's where the real transformation happens. Kale's story reminds us, no one rows through the fog for you, but we can all learn to row. This channel grows not only with stories and reflections, but with the actions of each of you. When you subscribe, when you like, the channel grows stronger and the message that helped you can reach many other people who also need it. Make a difference now. Subscribe, leave a like, and be sure to check out the pinned comment for more resources that can transform your life. We have a free mini ebook on how to apply ancient practices of silence and clarity in your daily life, made for those who want to cultivate this wisdom in real moments of life. And if you want to go deeper, you'll find a gift in the pinned comment, a free ebook with timeless teachings and practical exercises to help you face doubt, cultivate courage, and find direction, even on your darkest days. It's a first step. Take it with you.